Two of the most interesting homes in the world, the Garcia House and the Invisible House, just hit the market for sale, and I think that you guys are going to agree with me. These places are beyond awesome. The Garcia House is shaped like a spaceship floating over Mulholland Drive in LA and is one of the most significant mid-century modern homes in the city. And the Invisible House, sitting in the middle of the desert in Joshua Tree, not surprisingly, blends in seamlessly with its surroundings with its mirrored exterior and boxy shape. With the Garcia House priced at $16 million and the Invisible House priced at $18 million, these places will definitely qualify as trophy properties for whoever ends up buying them. Today, let's talk about two of the most interesting houses in the world. Okay, starting with the Garcia House, this home is located at 7436 Mulholland Drive in Los Angeles, California, specifically in the Hollywood Hills. And at $16 million bucks, the price is not all that out of line. I mean, there's plenty of homes in the Hollywood Hills priced at or above $16 million, but there is a catch. The Garcia House, like a lot of other mid-century modern homes, is pretty small for a home at this price point at only 2,600 square feet. It's got 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms. The home was built in 1961, and there's actually not even a garage, just 2 open parking spaces. What makes this home so special, of course, is the way that it looks, which we'll dive into the photos here in a minute, but also because it was originally designed by the icon architect John Lautner, and it's actually recently been restored meticulously to preserve all the original details of the home. Mid-century modern homes were kind of a staple in Southern California back in the 1950s and the 1960s. There were several prominent people at the time doing some really cool work out there, but sadly, over the years, a lot of these old homes have been taken down in favor of much larger homes that are up to modern standards. That's another thing that's so cool about the Garcia House. It survived all the redevelopment, it survived the earthquakes, and it survived the fires. Moving on to the photos and starting with the exterior, a lot of people around LA refer to this house as the Rainbow House because the original owner, his name was Russell Garcia. His mother wanted the house to literally look like a rainbow and feature some of these colored glass panes on the outside. This is pretty cool. So this is what you see when you approach the house and then you walk through the front door. You're basically immediately looking out at those views. Here's the main living room. You gotta love that the carpet's still in there. Of course, that was kind of a classic feature back in the day. This huge wall of windows. The listing description actually says that these are 55-foot windows, which, based on my view anyway, that seems impossible. They look like maybe 20 or 25 foot at the most, so not sure what they're referring to there, but what an awesome space. Over by the fireplace and off the corner of the house, you actually have this kind of angled pane of windows that looks down into the canyon. And then back to that main living room, but looking out towards the views, you can see how the shape of the house just kind of arches over this room. Super cool. There's a really unique architectural staircase that takes you up to the second level. Up here you have this lounge area with a big wall of mirrors that probably just opens up the room and makes it feel a little bigger, and then it kind of reflects the views too. This, I'm assuming, is the primary bedroom because this is the only bedroom they even feature on the listing. Awesome room, although you would have to be a bit careful not to hit your head over on this side of the room. We've got a drone shot looking straight back at the house, and from this angle you can see that on the left is all the main living space, and then there's actually an open air area in the center with that staircase, and then over on the right it looks like probably where all the bedrooms are. And then the last shot that they show us is of the pool. So I guess John Lautner originally designed this pool, but the original owners couldn't afford to put it in. So the new owners basically built the exact same pool to spec that Lautner designed in the same place and everything in 2008, and that's what you see here. I'm sure some of you guys are bound to comment and say that this place is weird or you don't like it, and just remember that what you're buying here isn't so much of a house as it is a piece of history. The listing agent himself, Aaron Kerman, even said that you can't look at the price per square foot with this one. They're marketing it as an art piece that you can actually live in. Next up, we have to zoom over to Joshua Tree, California. It's about 3.5 hours east of the Hollywood Hills, this time to look at the home famously known as the Invisible House, located at 8198 Uphill Road. This property is priced at $18 million, and it is a stark difference compared to the mid-century modern we were just looking at. And this might not be the first time that you guys are looking at this house. It's got its own Instagram account, and it's pretty famous there with around 33,000 followers. Or you might have caught it on Airbnb. It's one of Airbnb's most popular OMG properties that is rented out for $2,500 per night. Or it's possible you might have seen your favorite celebrity promoting the place. Lizzo, Demi Lovato, and Diplo have all stayed in the Invisible House as well. This place is seriously unbelievable. Let's check out the listing. Starting with the specs, this one is also only 3 bedrooms. It has 4 bathrooms and 5,500 square feet of space. It was built back in 2019, and one of the things that makes it so private is that it's sitting on almost 60 acres of land. They start off with a nighttime shot of the house, and then we flip over to a daytime shot immediately after. So you guys can see right away the theme here. The house is completely mirrored on the outside. It's just full of windows in every direction. So if you're on the outside of the house looking at the house, it basically just blends in with the landscape. But then we're gonna see here in a minute, if you're inside the house and looking out, you're also just looking out at the landscape no matter where you're at in the house. The effect that you get with this mirrored exterior of the house is insane. I mean, it captures the mountains on the bottom, the sky and the clouds on the top. It's weird, you almost have to look twice to even see that it's there. And another little detail I want to call out here is how the house is basically just cantilevered out over the desert. There's a lot of doors throughout this place, but I'm guessing that this is the front door. At least this is the first door they show us. This photo shows us the bulk of the square footage in the house. You have the kitchen here in the front. The living room you can barely see behind the kitchen. The dining room is over here, and then there's this huge 100-foot pool over there. Here's another view of the kitchen, pretty modern, and like I said, you're basically looking straight out at the views no matter what room you're in the house. Here's another angle of the living room with a kitchen in the back. No TV in this living room, but I guess you don't really need one when you're staying at a house like this. And this is that swimming pool. It's indoors, obviously, and it's also heated, which is pretty nice. I'm guessing this is the primary bedroom, and I'm also guessing that this is on that cantilevered edge of the house, just hanging out over the views. That primary bathroom is industrial. You have a soaking tub in the center, a couple small sinks on the wall, probably a shower and a toilet behind that door. This probably would be my biggest concern if I owned or just rented this house. So this is a shot of the place at nighttime with the lights on inside, and as you guys can see, it's basically just a big glass fishbowl. You can totally see what's going on in every room with the lights on. I don't think I'd love that. Shout out to the designer Thomas Asinski and the homeowner Chris Hanley. They were very bold with their design, but they came up with something pretty special here. As far as comps go on this one, even though the Invisible House is awesome, I think it's gonna be a tough sell. You can see here that it is the most expensive home in Joshua Tree by far, with the next most expensive home priced at $2.1 million. But when you zoom out, you see that the average price around here is more in the $500,000 to $600,000 range. Now, it's no surprise that the listing agent for both of these properties is none other than Aaron Kerman. Aaron has over $9 billion in luxury home sales under his own belt. He is consistently named one of the top real estate agents in the United States, and his name is always behind some very high ticket listings, including a handful of homes he currently has for sale for over 50 million bucks. You guys get the point. Aaron Kerman is one of the GOATs when it comes to luxury real estate listings, so if there's anybody out there who can sell these 2 unique properties in California, it's gonna be him. Also, it's pretty cool to see that Kerman has kind of pivoted into more historic or iconic properties as of lately, because as I was wrapping this video up, I caught another headline about another awesome listing that he just picked up. This is a 2,400 square foot home, which was originally built back in 1927, that was meticulously restored by Frank Lloyd Wright's son. They're asking $7 million for this one, which, just like the Garcia house, is pretty high for the area and high on a price per square foot basis. But you guys can see in the photos, when you buy something like this, you're buying way more than just a house. You're basically investing in a piece of history. When people have that conversation with you of like, oh, hey, what would you do if you won the lottery? Well, I think I just figured out what I would do if I won the lottery. I'd buy the Garcia house and I'd buy the Invisible House. If you enjoyed the episode today, guys, hit the thumbs up button down below before you go, or leave a comment. Let me know what you thought about these cool houses. And another reminder, I am sending out a newsletter every Friday where I'm talking about what's going on with my real estate investments and other random real estate news as well. So make sure you follow along there if you haven't already. That's it for this one though. I'll see you guys next time.